One of the reasons that I started volunteering is that I met a very sweet lady that told me that she had been to Romania. And whenever she talked about it, tears just rolled down her eyes.
I get so much more out of this experience than what I feel that I give.
It just makes me feel good to help others, and gosh, we're all in this together. This world is just so fragile.
That one person can really help and change. And sometimes we stop and we think that, but we don't act on it.
This trip is part of the Gift of Hope in Moldova, and it's starting out to be just an incredible experience for me. What we're doing here, we are taking gifts of school supplies, toys, candies, blankets, just things that we've gathered. Some of them were put together, were assembled here in Moldova. Others were things that we brought with us.
I guess Gift of Hope is one of the most wonderful projects that we do during the Christmas, because it's not always about the gifts that we're offering to the kids, but we're offering them hope, which is more important. We're trying to tell them about there are people that still loves you and they come to your country and help you. And of course these are volunteers of Northwest medical teams. The kids see love. That's what the most important.
What appealed to me of the Gift of Hope is to be able to touch so many different lives. If it just puts a sparkle in someone's eye and makes their life better, then I get a lot out of that myself.
Noi conlucrăm cu Northwest Medical Teams timp de 5 ani.
We work with North Medical Team for about 5 years, and before the section was very in a bad condition, and they helped us with reparations, so we started from new.
When first time I saw Vincent Hospital, when I came and I saw how children's this hospital, you know what I thinking? I think this is kids. It's more worth than in prison.
So before there was no hot water?
It was before, but as the government are giving to the people, let's say, sometimes hot, sometimes it's not hot.
Ultimii 5 ani.
Because we collaborate with Northwest Medical Team, the mortality went down for 5 times.
We saw a lot of those kids today in the burn unit over here in the hospital. It's just mother or father takes their eyes off the kid for 1 minute, and there you have it. You know, they're burned over, 30, 40, 50, 70% of their bodies.
Right now we're in the intensive care unit of the Children's Hospital. This is another child who's got burns all over her body and who, in the absence of this kind of treatment, probably would not make it.
As in Simeon's case, when a child being boys as they'll be boys, through his tennis shoes, his only pair of shoes over these electrical wires, and Simeon went up to get him, and he got fried on 70% of his body.
As a result of Northwest medical teams and their treatment of Simeon in the United States and subsequent treatments, Simeon has now been able to lead a much more active and normal life.
What will happen if Northwest Medical Team will not help you in those situations where you have been?
Возможно, я бы умер.
It's possible then I will die.
He's a totally functioning kid right now, and as he says, You know, if it weren't for Northwest Medical Teams, I don't know if he'd be alive today. And that's 5 years ago, and he's a healthy, robust, cute as a buttoned ear young guy. You know, he's just a neat person. He's got a heart of gold.
You don't have to be in the medical field or the dental field. You have to have the willingness to want to help. And that willingness could be financial, it could be personal, it could be time. But if you look at what they offer, they do have something that will fit everyone. And you will walk away with a smile on your face. And you will be able to think that I did impact someone somewhere. And I think that's all we can take home at night.
My job is usually to translate when the teams are coming, but it's not only about translation, it's about helping your own people instead of your own country. And I would say it's a big blessing for us having you guys come over here and helping our country, because our country really needs your help as being a country in transition.
I have enjoyed working with Northwest Medical Teams. They go in where nobody else wants to go because the conditions are really, really very, very marginal. Look at Moldova, it's just so compromised. And the apartment that we're staying at is so wonderfully cozy. Once you leave the door of the apartment, it's just squalid with the pollution and the dirt and the mud and the graffiti. It's a horrible, horrible place, and I wouldn't let my child outside the door of the apartment if I were living here. So.
The hospital was not in the best of conditions for what we're used to, but you could feel the love there from the children and the warmth that they had for us and the appreciation for what we brought.
So I was really impressed by the rooms, what I could see of the surgery room. I wasn't allowed in there, but I could look in there, and it looked fairly modern. And the playroom that they've fixed up for the kids.
All of these things that you see are basically things that Northwest Medical Teams volunteers have brought to this play area. So it's a pretty awesome, colorful kind of addition to a otherwise dreary-looking white-walled place.
The gifts that we give them are small, but it means so much to them just to know that somebody else on the other side of the ocean cares enough to come over here and hand them to them and touch them and hug them and tell them that they're wonderful. It's a tremendous gift, and I feel very privileged that I'm fortunate enough that I can do this.
Parents and kids are very, let's say, amazed of the work that Northwest Medical volunteers come here and doing.
It really touched my heart. Today, when we gave gifts to them, one of the mothers was just in tears, and I hugged her, and she was crying, and she thanked me in her native language, and I walked out and I lost it. I feel like I'm going to start crying right now just remembering it. It really touched me. Coming here does change you. You can't walk away from here and go home to everything that we have. You don't realize how much you have until you visit a country like Moldova.
I really want my children to be givers and not takers, and to be caregivers. And if I can set an example for them, then I know that they'll leave the world a better place, because that's what it's all about, is passing on a legacy. So.